Imagine this. You're riding in the passenger seat of your friend's car, maybe headed to dinner or just coming back from work, when, out of nowhere, another driver blows through a red light. The crash is loud, violent, and in an instant, you're the one dealing with the pain, medical bills, and the stress of recovery. But here's the question most passengers don't think about until it's too late. Who's going to cover your injuries? If you've been hurt as a passenger in a Florida car accident, your rights and options are different than the driver's, and if you don't know them, you could be leaving thousands of dollars on the table. Hi, I'm attorney Jim Curtis. I'm a personal injury lawyer based in Apollo Beach, Florida, and I help accident victims in the Tampa Bay area and across the state of Florida. For over 15 years, I've helped people like you navigate the maze of insurance laws after serious accidents. And today, I'm going to break down exactly what happens if you're injured as a passenger in Florida. We'll talk about how your personal injury protection or PIP benefits apply, what happens if you don't own a car, and how uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage can step in when the at-fault driver doesn't have enough insurance. So let's dive in. For those who don't know, Florida is a no-fault insurance state, which means every driver who owns a car is required to carry at least $10,000 in PIP coverage. But here's where passengers often get confused. If you own a car and carry Florida auto insurance, your PIP coverage follows you, not the car. That means, despite the fact that you were a passenger in someone else's car, your medical bills will first go through your own insurance, even though you weren't driving. But if you don't own a car and don't have PIP coverage of your own, then the PIP coverage of the car that you were riding in will usually cover you. So whether you're a passenger in a friend's car, a rideshare like Uber, or even a relative's vehicle, you still have access to PIP benefits. It just depends on your insurance situation. Now here's the catch. PIP only covers 80% of reasonable medical expenses up to $10,000. And as you probably know, in any serious accident, $10,000 doesn't stretch very far. So what happens when your injuries cost more than PIP will pay? That's where other claims come in. As a passenger, you may have the right to pursue compensation from the at-fault driver of the other vehicle, if they caused the crash, the driver of the car you were in, if their negligence contributed to the accident, or you could seek compensation from both drivers, if fault is shared. Now, one of the most overlooked protections for passengers is uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage, often referred to as coverage. Here's how it works. If the at-fault driver doesn't have any insurance or doesn't have enough insurance to cover your losses, coverage, if available, steps in. Coverage can come from your own auto policy if you carry it, or it may come from the policy of the driver whose car you were riding in, depending on the situation. This is huge because in Florida, far too many drivers are either uninsured or underinsured. Without coverage, you could be left holding the bag for medical bills, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Here's the bottom line. Being a passenger doesn't mean you're powerless. In fact, in some ways, passengers have stronger claims than drivers because they're rarely at fault. But here's the danger. Insurance companies will still do everything they can to limit what you recover. They'll argue about who's responsible. They'll dig into your medical records looking for pre-existing injuries. And if you don't know how to navigate the rules around PIP and benefits, you could lose out on money you're legally entitled to. So if you've been injured as a passenger in Florida, here's what you should do. Number 1, get medical attention right away. Number 2, don't assume PIP is all you can recover. And number 3, talk to a lawyer who knows how to maximize passenger injury claims. If you have questions about your rights as an injured passenger, my team and I are here to help. Just give me a call for a free consultation or visit me online at calljimthelawyer.com. And remember, being a passenger doesn't mean you're stuck. It means you have options. Now that you know your rights as a passenger in a Florida car accident, be sure to check out this next video to learn what happens if the driver that hit you doesn't have insurance. See you there.